Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to do a forest. So let's get started. I'm going to actually start this one with kind of my main tree. So instead of doing like a pine tree, I'm gonna make this more like kind of like an oak tree or something that has a little bit more interesting branches. So more branch based instead of like full body with leaves. I kind of start with like these Y shapes. And I have some branches go off. I'm gonna make this in front. So that's coming out from behind it. And it's going to live on a hill. So let's put the hill in place. Then let's get another hill. And then we'll do a second tree over here, so that's my little buddy. Here's that hill. Let's put some behind it so we can get a second layer. Maybe one last level of hills and trees inside this forest, because we're kind of inside, we're not really outside of it like the other landscapes we've done. Now I have trees here in front, and then we're like really close to this landscape, so I actually think I'm gonna put some things like up close, clear here for us as well. Maybe a bush, so let's get kind of shape. I start with just kind of fluffy shape. And then I think of these kind of in 3 or 5 sections, so it's kind of one section, it's kind of up close, a layer behind it, another one behind that. It's almost like a little tiny baby tree. And we can get another one, give it some space, maybe a little shorter. In front of it. And we'll put these real close to the ground. Maybe make this a little bit more whimsical. I'll put like a little mushroom in here. So I start with the teardrop shape, a little oval. So you can see the mushroom gills inside. And do another one next to it. They don't all have to be the same style, so let's do just kind of a round, shorter one. I don't want to see the gills so much in this one. But I have made it behind, so creating some of that overlap. Maybe one more little guy over here. I like things in 3s, so. One more little mushroom over here. Living in the grass by himself. Okay. Now let's get the treetops on this tree. Let's do a little section here. Get some bigger areas behind it. Going off the page, really showing how big this tree is. And I'll fill this in with texture. Right now I'm just getting the basic shape, like where I want the leaves to form and be. But it's important that it's not just outlined, because we want to make it look like there's depth in the tree. So we got to have something in front, something kind of in the middle, and then we got to have like background space. So just sketched in lightly. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Maybe we start in the back. I'm going to have this overlap, exit the page. Let's do middle area now. And this is all pretty big, so let's get something back here. Okay, so this tree's got some volume to it. Maybe I'll do those little leaf textures we practiced. Okay, and then for this tree, I'll give it that kind of bumpy texture like that. I don't know if I want those to have the same texture though. I might do just singles. Or maybe I'll make it more pointed, so those trees can be told apart. All right, so we have some stuff in the front, we got some trees in the middle. Let's start making these trees slowly lose detail and show the depth of this forest. So I'm gonna do something on this hill and get a tree that goes up. And then show another little layer where this tree has his own canopy of leaves. And let's get another one. And remember, because these are in the middle, I don't want them to have too many details. But he still needs to have some of that information that we see in the front, just not quite as much. Okay, and work our way back here. Now this is that middle hill, so I'm going back on this kind of this furthest area. So I'm going to go up. Here, giving him a little bit of volume too, maybe just a couple more. That way that forest looks really far back and deep. Do another layer back here. These guys are getting smaller because that canopy is moving down on them and they're getting farther away. Maybe even up on this hill we just have some of the trunks. We don't even have to have the branches. And back here we'll have one of those that the trunk is a little bit more shape. And just one of those little Ys coming out. The small canopy of leaves. Alright, so I have an internal forest. I think over here it's feeling kind of empty, so I really have two bushes over here, so let's add another kind of shrub. 1, 2, I'll give it a couple little things here in the middle. And something we haven't added is maybe we put like a little critter in here. I'm gonna just do a little bunny. So, circle. And a little back circle will be his body. And I think actually I'm gonna make that a little bigger. Get him an ear. One ear up. I'll do one ear down. Like he's a little lop bunny. whiskers. Give him a little tail. Put some shrubs in front of him because he's hiding. Tree, just a little grass texture. Alright, so that is my basic forest, just shapes, sketching out. I think I'm going to work on some contour lines on these mushrooms. I'll do some different leaf textures for the pen. For the trees, maybe I'll do scribble here in the bushes. Give me a little planning, try that out. I tend to do a little pencil planning before I actually go in and pen. I just feel like it helps me a little bit. And then I know I'm gonna do this rough tree bark texture. I like that. In the back, I think I'm just gonna do parallel lines. Even in these treetops, I'll keep those close for these background pieces. All right, time to render.